I told you goats were selling. The goat market was really high right now, and that held true at this auction.
So what's up, guys? We are back with another video. Before we get started, go down there, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and like this video so she will stop wondering what we're doing.
Well, what are we doing?
We're here. We are tomorrow we're gonna move not Big Mac, Whopper to the goat pen, and some of the goats are gonna go to a show sale.
To an auction, not a show sale.
Yeah. And we're gonna try to get Rufus with the girls.
Oh, think it's time for Rufus, the love machine, to come see his girlfriends?
Yeah.
That's right. So this is gonna be like a 2-day video. I've got all the goats up, and I'm gonna feed them really good this evening, and we're gonna be taking and loading several of them up in the morning and taking them to a friend and then off to an auction, because we've got a few older does I'll show you tomorrow. Remember the old crippled doe that couldn't walk? Well, she's still here and she's still struggling. She's gonna go to the auction, and I've got 1 or 2 old does that need to go, plus all of this year's buck kids. In other news, this guy hasn't gone back to see his girlfriend any, but Houston is really wanting me to turn out Rufus, our male alpaca, back with Tina and Dolly to see if any love things want to happen. Now we think that our little girl here, our youngest one, already bred. You may remember a couple months ago, actually, we turned Rufus in with her, Lucy, back when she was in the other pen, and we did catch them breeding several times. She's never had a baby before, and we sold the 2 other baby alpacas. You know, remember Bo and Patsy? So it's time to try to see if we can get
the love machine out.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. We want Rufus over here, but we don't want Whopper in here right now, and we don't want to let all these animals in this pen, Houston. So let's go see if we can get Rufus to come down here. You guard the gate, I guess.
No.
Rufus, bro, I got good news. All I need from you is to go to the barn, buddy. You're gonna go in with the ladies. If you'll just go down to the barn. I put some feed out, and usually he'll come right to me, but it's like he knows something's up. More than likely, he's not gonna wanna go, and I'm not gonna chase him, so. What is it, Rufus?
We should just put him on a halter.
Well, catching him, you gotta catch him first. That's the thing. I think it's better just to feed and see if he'll come instead of chasing him around. Because if we just chase him, that's not gonna do us any good, okay? I'll just feed the other animals real quick.
Come on. Let's go, girl. Come on.
Come on, Rufus, buddy. Come on.
Well, that's about par for the course, but I'm gonna feed the goats really well tonight, and then I'll feed them really well in the morning, because we don't want them to go off to an auction and get all sucked up and be stressed out. So we're gonna feed them really good for a couple days prior to. And the reason we're taking a bunch of these little billies to the auction is because I've been hearing they're selling from anywhere from $4 to $4.50, upwards of $5 a pound. And if I can sell a 30, even a small 30-pound buck kid for $4 a pound, that's $120 for a couple-month-old buck kid. And we'll keep a couple back and castrate them to save for processing later, which is basically what we're doing with that guy right there. I've got a butcher date set for 2 goats, and Rufus still is not cooperating. He's up there. Whopper come in to eat. Every day Rufus comes right here when I feed until you want him to do something. And then he just stands out there in the pasture.
Rufus, man, why are you being a knucklehead? Huh? We just want to turn you in with your ladies. Bro. What are you kicking at? Why don't you go down there and eat with Whopper?
Rufus is not cooperating. I'm not gonna pressure him. He's just fine. We'll let him do his thing.
This poor mama chicken. She got all her babies. Keeping them all together is difficult when you're walking under feet of animals.
Anyway, so I'll see if I can mess with him tomorrow. I'm not gonna pressure him today. And then we'll get out here in the morning, separate goats. I just wanted to get this video intro, get it started, and let this guy tell you how much he's gonna miss all these goats.
Well, I think I'm gonna try to talk him into keeping Skip's boy.
We'll see, we'll see. We're gonna hold back a couple, but anyways, Rufus isn't gonna cooperate, so we'll see you guys in the morning. All right, well, time to start sorting and sifting and figuring out who's gonna go and who's gonna stay. And I know someone's gonna get mad at me in the comments because I said, or I'm gonna say, I'm getting rid of some goats. This is a farm, guys. This is a working farm. Not all animals come here to stay. Some come here and they stick around for a long time. Some are here for a few months. Some are born to go in the freezer. We're not rehoming goats today. We're selling them for a profit, which means we're getting rid of them. I think most of you understand that, but sometimes we get people that don't understand, and I totally get it. I'm not dogging anyone, but the fact of the matter is we're getting rid of some goats today. But the old doe that could barely walk. So I told you guys we were gonna cull her a long time ago. We are culling her. We're sending her to a processor. She's not in good shape. She will end up going to a killer facility. She's gonna be a killer doe that goes to a meat market. Simple as that. That's just the facts. That's what it is. And I know a lot of people said they would adopt her and we need to take care of her and all that, but look, she can walk. She is not in good condition though. It is what it is. We've doctored her for long enough, and she's just not gonna get over it. So follow her down here where I can actually see her. There she goes. See, she still gives out on that back hind quarter, and she can walk and she gets up, but that back leg just wears down on her. Come on, stand up, show them you can walk. So you can see by looking at her, she's not an animal that we're going to keep on the farm, and it's time for her to go. I've got another really old doe that's just over the hill, past her prime. She's going to go to the sale today too, and that would be this big spotted doe back here. She's looking skinny and slim. I've wormed her multiple times, but you know, she's just past her prime, and it's time for her to move on along. We're not keeping animals around on the farm, you know, that aren't productive and aren't producing for us, and that's what a farm is. So Skip's not going. Skinny little Lambert that never grows isn't going, and you know, it is what it is. Earl, what are you doing? You're not going anywhere. Don't worry. you go. Back, girl. Well, the goat herd is sifted. I kept 2 little buck kids in here because Houston wanted to keep one of them. I'm gonna band it. It'll eventually be a freezer goat for us. And another one there, that little tan one standing right there. A friend of mine, we were at a Mexican restaurant the other day. He's the manager of the Mexican restaurant, and he said, hey, when you get a 50, 60 pound goat that you're ready to get rid of, we want a roaster goat. So that's where he's gonna go. But that sits me back down to, I think, 9 does that we're gonna keep. And I did load up some of my older does that are still producing. A couple of them are original Kikos that I got from Haygood Farms, Copperhead Farms Kiko goats several years ago. And they're probably 6, 7 years old, kind of reaching the end of their breeding life. That'd be this big red one right here, that big white one back there. The white and tan one was born here. She wasn't, she's not a Kiko, you can tell by her ears, but I think I've got 11 goats loaded up in here, so we're gonna take them off. And they're gonna go to the auction today. And like I said, goat prices are extremely high right now, like $4 to $5 a pound. So we'll make a pretty good check off these goats. And I'm sorry guys, they are not pets. We do raise our animals in the best way possible. We care for them as best we can. We love them while they're here, but this is a working farm and not all these animals are destined to stay here. We only have so much grass available in our pens and we don't want to overgraze our property. And I just don't need 20, 25 goats right now. The kids are going to be getting show calves again in the late summer probably, so we need as much grass here as we can, and it's time to cash in on some of our farm investment. There you go. Well, I got the goats all dropped off this morning, got everything done, and come outside for the evening chores this afternoon. And guess who decided to come in and eat? He didn't want to yesterday with Houston right here, but Houston was wanting to chase Rufus and run him down here. Well, I said, man, don't worry, don't do that. Don't get him all stirred up. Come down this afternoon, dump that a little bit of feed, and we're gonna let Rufus out with the ladies. Come on, Rufus. It's your time to shine. I'll open that other gate for you in a second, Whopper. You just hang out, buddy. Rufus. Hey, man. Your ladies are down here. You just got to pee in their spot. Rufus, what's your game plan? You're not even going to go over and at least act interested in your lady friends? Well, I think I'll leave Rufus, the love machine, as I like to call him, to his own. And so I know I wasn't trying to like jump on anybody's case specifically earlier, but I just do need people to understand everyone runs their farms differently. There are serious meat production farms, there's hobby farms, there's just everything in between. And we here personally have animals that are for fun. I mean, we're not doing anything with the alpacas except just kind of a novelty. We've got the miniature donkeys. They're just here for fun. But goats like this one are here to go the processor. And calves like Whopper, we raise one just about every year, are here for a temporary time. We know their end before they ever come here. And I truly believe that's the best way I can put the best food possible on my family's plate. And if you go to the grocery store and buy your food and that's what you prefer, more power to you. But I just want as many people as I can to understand, listen, we care for our animals, we really do, and we take good care of them. We try to do everything to keep them healthy, but there are certain things in life that we have to do and that we choose to do, and some of those are raising goats and then having babies and selling them for our farm, and then some stay here for us to process and have food for our family. But
What is it, Whopper? Huh?
Oh, slight change of plans. I decided to go ahead and just turn Whopper out in here so he's not by himself. Animals tend to do better in a herd. Obviously, herd animals do better in a herd, but Whopper hasn't been, well, he eats plenty, trust me. But when there's competition for food, animals go after it much faster. And I think if I at least turn him out here with them and let him compete for some food for a little while, and then we'll probably end up putting Isaac and Whopper and those two buck kids that I saved back in what I call my bro pen over here, where I keep my males separated. But I'm gonna shut that gate, let that grass grow for a couple weeks, and give that a break, because it's had animals on it all winter. It had both of the show heifers and Whopper in there, so the grass needs a break. We'll let that grass grow for a little while, but all right guys, it's been a few days since the goat sale, and I wanted to hold off on finishing this video so that I could show you guys what we made, and I was thoroughly impressed at the goat prices. So I'm gonna go over this real quick. I'm not gonna take a lot of time, but the first thing that I told you, goats were selling, the goat market was really high right now, and that held true at this auction. So we sold 11 goats, and 6 of them were those little buck kids from this year. So they were born late January, early February time frame. And now, I don't try to sell kid goats at this size, but they only average 34 pounds a piece. A couple of them were bigger, but we had a couple that were pretty small. 34 pounds is pretty small to be selling them. Try to get them to 50 pounds typically is usually about the best. That's about slaughter weight. But they were selling so high, I was afraid to hold on to them for another month or two, because then prices would drop and we'd probably make more money now while prices were high. So those 6 buck kids sold the average weight of 34 pounds a piece, total weight 205 pounds for 6 kids. They sold for $4.41 a pound. So we made $904 off those 6 buck kids. So can't complain about that. We sold, let's see, it's kind of hard to know which one's which because they're just numbers on here. But we sold those 4 different does, I guess. One of them was 85 pounds. So I'm gonna guess that was the crippled doe that wasn't in good shape. Sold for $1.05 a pound for $105. One just says one goat. I'm not sure what it is, but it was 100 pounds. Not sure which one that was. Sold for $205. And then those two does that were the 2 Kiko does, they weighed 110 pounds a piece. They sold for $250 each. Yeah, $250 a piece for old does that I was culling because I didn't want to have to deal with their health issues that we're probably going to start having. And I sold one weather goat that was I was planning on butchering, but I've already got 2 ready for the freezer for this year, and I had one that I held back, and he weighed 80 pounds, so he was one of last year's kids that just didn't grow. He should have been over 100 pounds, but he just didn't get near as big as he should have, and that's why I wasn't going to process him. I just sent him to the auction. But he was 80 pounds and sold for $3.20 a pound, and that was $256. So for 11 goats total, we made $1,970. And there's a little, you got commissions and yardage and insurance and all that stuff. So our check was $1,853 for 11 goats. That's not too bad. I'm not complaining, but I needed to thin down the goat herd just to make room for other animals, and we are a working farm, and we do this. We raise these goats to process some for us and some to sell to pay for the price of feed and all that stuff. But anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it, and as always, we'll see you on the next video.